Today, I competed against NCAA champions, ATP pros, and Division 1 college players in my first ever UTR Pro Tour event. This tournament had it all. Long matches, tough calls, and some just frankly embarrassing misses. Today, I'm starting a new journey alongside my Road to Top 1000 journey, Road to 14 UTR. This will see me compete in UTR Pro events around the world
in order to improve my UTR and get to that elusive 14 UTR rating.
But how good is that really? As of right now, I'm a UTR 12.42 with an ATP ranking of around 1900. And for comparison, Yannick Sinner's currently sitting at 16.18. Caruso from My Tennis HQ, who I played last year, has just turned 14 UTR. And Jules Marie, who I played in my latest video, is a UTR 14.17.
So we're here at breakfast, 6:30 AM. I've got some cereal, some fruit. Of course, got to stay hydrated as well. I'm going to eat this, then head over to the club.
And of course, I had a coffee.
At 6 AM, that's the spot.
We then drove the 10 minutes to the venue.
Just got to the site, gonna do a physical warm-up and get going for my match.
My warm-up routine consisted of some dynamic mobility exercises for my wrists, ankles, for my hips, basically getting all of the muscles firing that I was going to need, getting myself prepared mentally for the match.
Yes guys, so about to go on for my match, playing a very strong player, the seed number 2 in the tournament, so I basically got nothing to lose. This is all about matches. I'm going to try and be strategic, work on some of the things I've been working on, being aggressive, holding that backhand side, switching line because he's a lefty, and really having some good mental focus to never go up and keep fighting.
My opponent in his first round match was Josh Gudger, ranked 1037 in the world with a UTR of 13.15. He won the NCAA team championship with the Florida Gators on the same team as Ben Shelton, so definitely a strong opponent for a first round match. But first, how does the tournament work? There are 20 players with 4 groups of 5, and each player gets 4 matches between Monday and Friday, and then goes through the knockout stage onto Saturday and Sunday, depending on where they finish in the group. And where you finish matters because there's lots of prize money on the line, but more on that later.
And finally guys, together in partnership with UTR, I want to give some of you the opportunity to have a tennis session with me or play a match against me, and all you have to do is go down there, fill in the application form, give me some reasons why I should come and play with you, and of course be a UTR Power subscription member, which you can find out more information about down below. I'm really looking forward to it. Go down there, fill out the application, and I might be seeing you sooner than you think.
So let's jump straight into the match here, me against Josh. Now, obviously Josh being a lefty, I knew that I'd have to try and target his backhand side as much as possible, keep on my forehand. You can see here him taking his first service game and having a pretty close game on my serve to begin with. I started off a little bit shaky. I was actually testing out my brand new rackets, which was super exciting. I've made slight changes to my grip size, to my string tension, and also the weight of the racket. So there were a lot of new things, but I decided to make those changes in a UTR event, obviously because I get a lot of matches in a short space of time. And as you can see here, I started great. I went 3-1 up, serving some big serves. Of course, I knew that Josh would kind of end up responding, but I knew at the beginning of this match, it's all about the hustle, trying to get as many points as possible, try and start out the blocks really hot and really put the pressure on. As you can see, Josh holding his service game and putting that extra bit of pressure on me to hold serve. I definitely think that I was moving the ball around well, but you can see him there taking that backhand early, managing to break me again. The courts were super quick, and calls like that didn't help, which the umpires called in, which I have no clue how that's happened. Yeah, not really too much to say on that front. Didn't want to let that affect me too much. Moving here to 4-all, definitely an opportunity to try and break would be nice. Josh was an aggressive baseliner, I want to say. Of course, very fast. Had a very long reach and was able to get to balls like that, which is insane, crazy highlight, and forcing me to serve it out here on serve. And I have an absolute howler of a game with the brand new balls at 9 games in, and yeah, disappointing to be honest. I stuck with him the whole of the first set here, getting a net cord and going back behind, and then closing out the first set. Definitely not the way I wanted to finish the set, because I thought I'd actually played some decent tennis. I believe that I was playing well, and I started this set off a lot better. I managed to get a break early on. Josh manages to find a break back, play some great tennis to put me under some pressure here at 5-4 to have to hold my serve. And now it was going to be about, have I got the nerve to close it out? Have I got the nerve to hold my service game this time and take it to 5-all? And some decisive aggression going in my favour. I do manage to take it to 5-all, and now it's all about getting it to a set tiebreak. Anything can happen in these tiebreaks. I felt like in the actual service games I was playing some great tennis. I do manage to take it to a set tiebreak, and now it's all about the hustle. Some quick movement getting me up in this tiebreak, and I go 6-3 up with some set points. Decide to come in with a drive volley and take the second set. We're heading to a decider, and in these UTR events it's a full third, so it's perfect practice for ITF tournaments. You might remember a few months ago I played in Kuwait and played a full third and I lost 6-1, so I definitely didn't want to repeat that history here. You can see a very tight game on my serve, multiple chances for breaks and multiple chances for game points from myself. Josh ends up taking it, and let's just say it was a little bit of a repeat of Kuwait. I began to lose a bit of energy. Josh began to play freer after he managed to get the break, and I really think that in these moments I need to keep a good mental clarity and I need to try and focus on every single point. And you can see me here going down match point, but that didn't deter me. I said to myself, let's stay solid, fight for every point, make him play as much as humanly possible to close this one out, and you never know what's going to happen. And out of nowhere, the energy totally switched. I bring it back to 5-3 here on serve in a commanding position, and I missed the smash. That is what you shouldn't do when you're about to come back to 5-4. And Josh gets a match point because of it. And now I literally felt like I'd thrown the match completely. He hits a great deep ball, moves me into that backhand corner, but misses long and gives me another chance here to try and hold to go 5-4 to make him serve it out. He would be serving it out with new balls, but that wasn't really in my mind. I was just focusing on 1 point at a time to try and hustle this game out and equalise in this third set. And here, at 40-15, Josh comes to the net, forces me to hit a ball just going long, and I lose a 3-hour battle, 6-4 in the third.
What a match. For nearly 3 hours. I mean, I think I put up a really good fight. Obviously, new racket, new weights, new grips, but just thought, let's try and adapt, let's try and do everything as good as possible, drive on the backhand, get it deep. Managed to mentally really hold my nerve in the second set, and obviously in the third, I was down, I was broken, but I managed to find a way back and really try and find my way to win the match, and he managed to serve it out with new balls. But overall, frustrated and annoyed with the result, but happy with the progress that I'm making and the performance overall.
After such a long match, I made sure to cool down on the bike, basically getting the lactic acid out of the muscles. I try and do this as soon as I come off court for around 5 to 10 minutes, nice and relaxed, and then go through a static stretching routine, working on hamstrings, quads, glutes, all of the muscles in the lower body and the upper body. This also helps me calm down mentally and help me reflect on the match a little bit. That evening I took some time just to relax, watch some YouTube videos, shout out Simon Freund, but I knew I was going to be stiff the next day.
Yes guys, so I've just woken up in the hotel room. My left calf, my left adductor is really sore, so I'm going to put some deep heat on it, do a little bit of mobility this morning before I go out and do my warm up. I guess that's the total of playing a 3-hour match.
So stiff. Walking downstairs hurts. Breakfast on Tuesday morning consisted of some carbs, some avocado toast with some eggs, and of course the classic coffee, which you should know by now.
So about to go on for my match, gonna go out there and just play loose again, work on some of the things I want to work on, not focus too much on the result. Had a long match yesterday, so I know I'm gonna be a bit fatigued and a bit tired, so let's go.
My second match in the group was against a familiar face, Luca, a player slightly younger than myself. He actually came back from Monastir where he qualified and had a close battle for his first ATP point, so was on some great form. He's sitting just above the 12 UTR currently, I believe, so definitely wasn't going to be an easy match. And he definitely had a unique play style. He loved coming forward, took me a little bit off guard, and meant that I was going to have to hustle, run about, which in hindsight wasn't a great idea for me, having limited energy from a 3-hour match than the day before. However, managed to consolidate this break early on, going 3-2 up. But points like this, where Luca's just finding a way back, playing a beautiful drop shot there, was allowing him to kind of break back, and that inconsistency on my serve was a little bit of a problem in this first set. You can see him here, clinical on the volleys, not really giving me many opportunities, and here finding a first break point of his own to try to take the lead in this first set. Me being nice and aggressive with that forehand, coming forwards, beautiful play. It's definitely what I was trying to do to try and neutralise his balls. And again here, I was trying to target his forehand side slightly more because he didn't put as much on it. like trying to get him off the court and close the point. However, he played some great depth and he hit this kind of short slice chip ball, which was actually very difficult to defend, and then he'd come forwards and try and finish the point at the net. So definitely something that, you know, you don't encounter much, and a great volley there put away, taking him 5-4 up. Some great serving for me, going 40-love up in this service game, looking like a routine hold. And then Luca just absolutely let loose, hit 1 or 2 ridiculous returns, and the game got a little bit tighter. Tried to approach with the ball onto the line, Luca with a great pass, and suddenly I'm set point down, not really sure how it's happened, on my own serve. A great shot back behind, some great hands. I've lost the first set here. Definitely not what I was expecting. Of course, I'm the favourite going into this match, and that's never an easy thing. And so I think that, you know, maybe that playing on my mind a little bit, and some great tennis from Luca, obviously meaning that, you know, I lose this first set. And I think from here it was a big mental struggle, as I'm kind of fatiguing pretty quickly after a long match. It made quite a big impact on myself. I've been working a lot on my fitness and coming off a training block. Still got a little bit of fatigue in the legs. So definitely kind of not the ideal scenario to start a week, even though it was a positive match. And I'm in an absolute dogfight here where I need every bit of energy that I can get. And fair play to Luca, he's putting up a great fight. You can see me here getting aced on a break point, potentially a huge opportunity to try and take this second set. And you can see me go down here 30-love in my own service game again. Not really, you know, what you love to see. Looking, try and get that forehand inside out, and Luca just hitting a ridiculous shot, looking slightly wide from my angle, but it's called in. And I get broken here, and now it's down to Luca to serve it out for the match. Hit a volley, lands plumb on the line, and the umpire calls it out, which was really frustrating. I argued with him for about 5 minutes before kind of giving in and saying, what can I do? Luca putting a very solid serve, and yeah, I lost the match, unfortunately. So let's talk about the prize money. Here's the breakdown of what each person gets. It starts at a minimum of $400 and goes all the way up to $3,600, which is actually the same as a $25,000 ITF futures tournament. So basically, you get more money and matches. So after a pretty tough defeat against Luca in my second round match, I wanted to make up for myself. Now I was playing against a Canadian player, Junu, might have butchered that name, but I've tried my best, who's ranked around 1300 in the world. Of course, these are the types of players that you'll face in the qualifying draws of 25Ks, so this is who you want to be beating. So another great opportunity here to kind of test my level after a match which I wasn't particularly proud of. You can see me, you know, trying to get some really good depth from that slice, hold on my backhand side. In this match, I felt that my racket was more comfortable in my hand. It sounds funny, but playing with a new racket, it always feels a little bit uncomfortable for the first few times. And I definitely felt I was able to let loose more, hit more winners, hit through the ball. And that was definitely a weapon that I was trying to use as much as possible in this first set. I definitely kind of had nothing to lose in that sense. And some crazy points like this on break point were the points I needed for confidence going into this first set. And as you can see, they're using that forehand well, going up a break in this first set, trying to play that 1-2 punch, nice and aggressive with the forehand, putting those balls in awkward positions, happy to play 2 shots to finish the point if I have to, and really making it difficult for my opponent in his service games by making a high percentage of returns, making balls in court, and biding my time for an opportunity to pull the trigger on the forehand just like that. Beautiful drop shot sees me take the first set here. I definitely think that I wanted to carry on the momentum of that first set into the second set. My opponent began to serve much better, made it a little bit difficult for me at the beginning of the second set. Definitely wanted to try and find a break as early as possible. This would be my biggest win of the year so far, or the highest ranked ATP-wise win of the year. So definitely a good opportunity to put in a good performance early on. I think that points like this were an indication of how I wanted to play a little bit more. Slicing to come in, forcing my opponent to miss, giving me lots of confidence in terms of being aggressive, which I think is really important when you're playing with a new racket in different conditions. That confidence is always essential, and I'm sure, as some of you know, playing tennis yourselves, confidence is one of the most important factors when you're playing. You can see me there taking that forehand nice and early, going line, installing that confidence even more, My opponent began to put some serves really in the corners here, so on a lot of those return games it was a little bit messy, a little bit scruffy, just trying to hustle as much as possible, get those smashes back, make it difficult for him, managing to get that lob over him in a tough spot. You can see it literally thought it was going out, and going 30-love up in this game and potentially getting a break here. And the aggression paying off, managing to find a break in this second set. Now it's down to me to try and serve it out for the rest of this set, but my opponent said, look, I'm having none of it, and I totally stack it and yeah, get broken. A little bit embarrassing, to be honest, but look, that's tennis, that's how it goes. And now it's all about whether you can reset and refocus. Stuff's going to happen, stuff that you can't control, some stuff that you can control, like falling over, but you always got to maintain that focus and make sure that you get right back on it the next game, as I did, to take it to 4-all here, to once again try and fight for a break to take the set. Some great hustle from me there, setting up a break point. I said to myself, just absolutely annihilate the ball. And I hit it right on the line. And it's now 30-all to serve for the match. And that ball's called out. Once again, terrible call in a key situation. My opponent goes and does that. Forehand winner right onto the line, as expected. And I'm now in an even tougher battle, down 6-5 in the second set. How the situation can change. Again, about refocusing, managing to put away a clinical volley, which was on the edge of the line, and an ace to serve it out to take it to a set tiebreak. 2-all in this tiebreak was an absolute battle, getting on that forehand side with the angle, hitting a winner, and this point at 3-2 was essential to get up in this tiebreak. And a crazy amount of hustle takes me to match point. And there you go, take my win, take my first win of the group stage. Yes guys, so managed to get the win, vamos. Tough one, fighting with some physical pain. Wasn't able to close it out in the second set mentally. Affected me a little bit because I thought if I lose this set I'm going to have to retire. I was really pushing physically. I'm going to go see the physio now. Don't want to put my next few weeks in jeopardy though, so just going to play it by ear. But yeah, good win. Let's go. So after the match I headed straight to the physio to get my leg checked out. I had a few bits and pieces which were slightly bothering me. Not a huge issue, but I felt that if I was going to push it any harder it would become an issue. Just major tightness in that kind of adductor area on my quad. It was pretty painful at times during the physio session. I really just wanted to get it checked out, and they recommended me that, you know, I don't push it as it could make it worse, especially with a large trip to America coming up over the next week. So my verdict was I'd see how it was the next morning and then make a decision on whether I could continue with the matches. And afterwards I filmed 1 or 2 interviews for the university that we were at. Always happy to do an extra bit of PR work, which I enjoyed. And then it was time to head home.
And so unfortunately that's where my UTR journey for the week ended. I was obviously a bit unfortunate to have picked up kind of a little bit of an injury in my right leg throughout the first 3 matches of the group stage. Obviously it was very intense, day after day after day, with some really long and physical matches. I did see the physios, they recommended that I see how it feels the next day. It felt very sore, it was tough to walk, and I didn't really want to put the next weeks in jeopardy. As you know, I'm here in the US right now doing a tour of training, tournaments and some more UTR events, so definitely wanted to make sure that my body was fit and healthy for that. But the main thing was that now I'm feeling fit again, I'm feeling good to go, I'm feeling ready, and I'm able to attack these next few weeks. I didn't want to put that in jeopardy. Of course, not the ending to the UTR event that we wanted, but fingers crossed going into the next ones, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be able to attack them to the best of my abilities. Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.